Hi, welcome to my channel. This channel is against the Big Bang. So, Weinberg, this time I cut some videos. So I fright people somehow. Physics, good guys that are lying. Okay, I read a book from Weinberg. So this is his procedure in the book. First 3 minutes of the he want another one, but about particles. You see, he has these two books. I read only that 3 minutes. Makes like this. He's going to tell you the thesis, antithesis. You decide what is correct. In all the book, he makes like this. So it's even 0 or 100, even 100, 10. But if it was 0, it's 100. So it's this physics, I'm telling you. So this is closer to true. I am subscribed to this channel. So it brings many videos about these thematics and philosophy. So although 99% they are speaking like crazy. So Weinberg, look.
Steve, the fine-tuning of the universe of the constants of physics is a somewhat controversial subject. I'd like to ask you about the so-called cosmological constant and the apparent incredible fine-tuning that has to be.
Well, the question is, what is the energy in empty space? Most people would say that's a dumb question. Empty space is empty. There's nothing there. But from the point of view of quantum mechanics, in particular, what's called the uncertainty principle, you can't really say there's nothing there. In quantum mechanics, if you know precisely what the position of something is, you can't know how fast it's moving, and vice versa. And likewise, if you know precisely the value of a field, like the electric field or the magnetic field or the gravitational field, you can't know precisely how fast it's changing. So the statement that there are no fields in empty space, that the electric field and the magnetic field and the gravitational field are all absent, is just not one that can be made. You're not allowed to say that.
So if you watch that, you see he is presenting an entire. You can go and see this video, okay? So maybe I will cut and to show to you with the energy of space. So if it is 0, but if it's 0, maybe it's 100. But and he speaks in a contradictory manner. If you want to hear it, maybe I'll put all 10 minutes if you don't want to go and see this video, okay? But I wanted to put it there. I'm afraid like somehow they will pull out the videos after after the things. So he says, but it's bigger than we expect. Then there is smaller than we expect the energy of empty space. And then is if it was going to be bigger than a smaller, but it's 0. But it's this physics, my friend. Can I tell you that this is from Platon jokes? This is the way I make the videos. So from Platon jokes, from before Christ, it is even small or big. If it is big, then it's small than big. Bigger than small and smaller than big. Or it is 0 or it is 100. But maybe it is 100. So if you speak like this, so watch, Wainberg.
Instead, empty space is roiling with fluctuating fields whose average energy is something. We don't have to be able to calculate what it is. It's the same everywhere because space is featureless, but it's just a constant, a certain energy per volume, per cubic foot or whatever of empty space. What is that number? Well, you could try to estimate what it is on the basis of fundamental theory. Now, we can calculate it to some extent. That is, we know a lot about electric and magnetic and gravitational fields, and we can calculate what the energy is in fields of various wavelengths. If you go for wavelengths which are the kind of lengths that we study in elementary particle laboratories or in everyday life or in cosmology, we know how to do that calculation.
Okay, closer to truth. You do not believe they do not calculate it anything. NASA wanted to go and see that there's an energy of space. That's gravity, my friends. That's gravity. You put a kitchen appliance like you put a kitchen like a mixer, okay, something with a motor, and you plug it directly in a solar panel. Solar panel will move it. So now you are wondering what gravity is. If you put all over the place your kitchen appliance like they have a motor directly into solar panel, they will spin them. So now you are wondering how the sun has the power because they do not know what the gravity is in a sincere manner. But okay, so now you understand if it moves mass with light, the sun, if you put it as a solar panel, okay, and the electron and proton do not exist. This guy is saying, okay.
If you go to very, very short wavelengths shorter than, let's say, the 100th the size of an atomic nucleus, we have to give up. We say our theories are not good enough to tell us. We don't know what other fields there might be present, and we just have to accept it. So you can say not what is the energy in empty space, but what is the energy in the fluctuations of fields of wavelengths larger than the smallest wavelength that we can study in the laboratory. That energy turns out to be huge. When I say huge, I mean it's enough so that if the energy of empty space was that large, the universe could never have evolved the way it has. If it was positive, the universe would have blown up exponentially fast, much too fast to ever allow stars or galaxies. If it was negative, the universe would have immediately collapsed. Big crunch immediately, a tiny fraction of a second after the beginning.
But I've told you what it is producing this vacuum energy, this craziness of theirs, okay? So they are saying that the space fluctuates by itself somehow. There's no hand of God, nothing, just from nothingness in somethingness, nothingness in somethingness. And this crazy man, and you're pretending you do science, and you'll go on this, and you will stay strong like here, and you'll go and know something, and you have something in your head, and he will stay strong in your face like this, and he will spit in your mind with this bullshit science. And if you want like this, okay, watch another part from this Wainberg bullshit. They will stay strong and they will pretend they know something, always. I've read the entire length of the book. He only makes like this. He even gives the ages on radio waves. The waves of radio have ages. Like old radio, you do not understand this stuff. It gives a antiparticle for, so watch.
So just from the fact that the universe has been expanding for billions of years, we can put an upper bound on the energy of empty space, a cosmological upper bound. It can't be bigger than that. And that upper bound is 56 orders of magnitude smaller than the value we would estimate, taking into account all the wavelengths we understand. In other words, if we consider all the fluctuations of fields at wavelengths where we understand the physics, the energy in empty space is 56 orders of magnitude too large to be allowed by the way the universe is expanding.
That sounds like the worst mismatch between theory and observation that I've ever heard.
I mean, this is, you don't, well, one good thing about it is you don't have to worry about having made a mistake of a factor of 2 somewhere in the calculation,
right.
Because the answer is so bad that no possible error of a factor of 2 or a factor of pi could possibly explain it.
Right.
So something's wrong somewhere.
Okay, after you watch that, in this the manner I make the videos. I cut from other videos. I'm telling you that these guys are crazy. You do not believe our galaxy is a sphere. It is emitting an energy that all the planet sits in it, but it is emitted by the daughter of the sphere. I believe that Wainberg is dead now. After all the lies he poured out, on books. They only want to make money and they're reciting crazy and demonic science. There is an energy, but not of anti-space and black dark malefic energies. And I'm tired of these guys. You'll see.
Well, one answer is, I mean, there's several answers to that. One answer is, who cares? You might say, well, nobody really cares what the energy is of empty space because we only measure differences in energy in everyday life. I mean, when you calculate what is the energy of a ball on top of a hill as measured by how much fast the ball is rolling when it gets to the bottom of the hill, what you're really talking about is the difference in energy on top of the hill and the bottom of the hill. And as long as it's just a constant, who cares? Well, it matters because it affects the expansion of the universe, as I already said. So for that reason, we do have to care about it. Another answer is, well, we only considered wavelengths down to a certain minimum size. Maybe at smaller wavelengths, something cancels it. But that cancellation has to be good to 56 decimal places. Well, maybe so, but it cries out for an explanation. And nobody has an explanation. This is the bone in the throat of theoretical physics right now. Why is that constant what it is? Now, for a long time...
So our galaxy is a sphere. We cannot see the universe. When you'll discover this, the telescopes are making big pictures now. There are hundreds of pictures already made by Webb Space Telescope. And already by Hubble Space Telescope, good telescopes. The Chandra telescope, they're seeing all the lights, they're seeing black holes, okay? They're psychopaths. But maybe you will do the Chinese, another telescope. And this will go and you'll see how they were lying, my friend. We do not even see the universe. How can you collapse in a big bang if you cannot see the damn universe? Only a galaxy. And that galaxies, you sound them, you are believing there is some suns with planets, this boring bullshit you cannot sustain from a center 100,000 years because might propagate the gravity. The galaxies are like this, put at the board of our galaxies, you see? Our galaxy. And there is a membrane that emits its light and it goes through all the planets into the sun, so there's a background microwave radiation, but it's not produced by the Big Bang.
Theorists took the attitude that since the theoretical estimates turn out to be 56 orders of magnitude, when I say 56 orders of magnitude, I mean a 1 with 56 zeros after it, that number too big. Maybe for some profound reason, the answer is 0. We just haven't thought of that reason yet. And the answer is there is no energy in empty space for some fundamental reason which just hasn't yet been explained to us.
Because that constant is so close to 0.
Yeah, it's
but
so
not
close.
0.
We knew for a long time that it was very close to 0. And it was perfectly possible that it was 0 for a long time. And since it was so much smaller than what you would theoretically expect, the natural reaction was, well, there must be some reason why it's in fact 0. If you think that the streets of New York are paved with gold, and then when you arrive in New York, you look around, there's no gold here, there's no gold there. Eventually you come to the conclusion there's no gold on the streets of New York.
Right.
None at all.
And this guy in a book, he says that the Big Bang was 15 millions of degrees. This guy do not know even thermodynamics. The fire is a limited, thermodynamics is limited function. But if you want to stay like this, okay, you'll see I hurry up to upload these videos. So Wainberg about fine tuning of the universe. If it is even 0 or 100 or 0 or 100. So this is science. you do not hear that it is speaking like this. You do not hear on this entire planet. So because why? Because it is a Jew. I'm telling you, our galaxy is a sphere. We cannot see the universe, and the sphere is surrounded by normal clouds. Like you see thunder cloud, you can register. It shuts up your TV if it's a lightning. If you understand, there's electromagnetic waves and different kinds of light energy, because the electron and proton does not exist, and they converge in all the planets. They spins them and moves them, okay, and keeps them. Two rocks in space do not go near them or far one from there. If you put them in the virtue of inertial principle, they will stay there. So in the moment they are pushed, they make a mechanical work and they go. Something is pushing them, but not the sun. I'm telling you. Although you can connect your kitchen appliance and you spin something, okay.
Well, but then it turned out through the brilliant observational work of astronomers using the Hubble Space Telescope and also ground-based telescopes, studying the way the expansion of the universe is going, that in fact the expansion of the universe can best be understood as telling us that there is a certain energy in empty space. It is indeed some 56 orders of magnitude smaller than you would expect, but it's not zero, it's positive, it's not negative, and we know what it is. And in fact, it makes up approximately 70% of the total energy budget of the universe. 70% of the energy content of the universe is in empty space, so-called dark energy, it's often called that. And it has a characteristic effect of causing the expansion of the universe to accelerate rather than slow down.
So this bone in the throat of theoretical physicists in terms of the cosmological constant has just gotten bigger.
It's gotten to be two bones.
I don't know how much I put it from this video. I like to put it as to remain, to see how they are bullshitting it. They are crazy. They work crazy with science, and I've read them books. If you do not believe me, believe them, because it's Wainberg, some Jew, that's the first 3 minutes of the universe. That's how you can have an antiproton with a proton, electron, anti-electron, muon, anti-muon, pion, anti-pion, boson, anti-boson, photon, anti-photon. He gives an anti-light. Anti-light. In the book he speaks about anti-light. If you believe this bullshit, my friends, okay. So if you believe this, my friends, okay, goodbye. This is the video for today. Our galaxy is surrounded by clouds. The stars are small and pouring clouds. They do not emit flames. They are kept in a small temperature. Some of them maybe are burning like our sun, but few of them, and few of them, very few of them, they are big how our sun is big. So maybe not even 1% is surpassing the how big is our sun. If it is one, our galaxy, so it was not created. So goodbye, God bless. This is the video for today. Wainberg bullshit, anti-pion, anti-mion, anti-bullshit, okay, goodbye, God bless.
One is, why is it not enormously larger than it is? And the other is, why is it what it is? In particular, I said it was 70% of the total energy budget. Well, 70% means that 30% is something else, and the two numbers are not that different. 70% and 30%, it's a factor of 2.3. Those numbers are fairly comparable, considering how small they both are compared to what you might expect. And that's the second bone in the throat. And it's particularly disturbing because it's not just a question, why are those two numbers the same? The energy in ordinary matter, whether it's so-called dark matter, which we don't yet know what it is, or ordinary electrons and protons, that energy per volume is changing as the universe expands. Naturally, as the universe expands, the particles get further and further apart. The energy per volume in ordinary matter decreases with time. The energy in empty space per volume is always the same. Get more volume, get more energy. But per volume, it's always the same. So those numbers, if they're nearly equal or only different by a factor of 2.5 now, were vastly different in the past. In fact, in the past, the energy in empty space was negligible compared to the energy in matter. And in the future, the energy in empty space will be completely dominant. And the universe will expand exponentially, and matter will play very little role. We are living at an epoch when the two are somewhat balanced, although the energy in empty space is larger. That's really the second thing. Why? It's the why now question. Why are we living at a time when the energies are not that different? Or why are they not that different at the time we happen to be living in?
So I wanted to make this video like you see it's a particle anti-particle. So I put exactly 1 minute from Wainberg, from closer to true. Maybe you see the interviewer, and 1 minute from me. But it is the entire cursive 10 minutes from Wainberg and 10 minutes from me. So I intersect them. But it is not cut. If you understand, it is how I spoke 10 minutes, how the video is 10 minutes in a row. But I break it. 1 minute him, 1 minute anti-science. Goodbye. God bless.